This is the place to find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu. I always have to stop and think about that. Make sure I don't mess it up. And friends, Robin's here every Thursday to help us do better with our health so that we can, in turn, be around to celebrate the wealth. So today she's here and she has a special guest. I'll let her introduce that. But first, let's just talk to Robin and find out what happy, healthy habits she has for us today. Hi, Robin. How are you? I just want to say
Everybody.
yes, I just want to give a shout out to Francine before we get started, who's our producer, who's taking all these different shots of us this morning. I'm Terralina. Francine is our entrepreneur. She is a real estate entrepreneur and our tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups. We're the Biz Chicks, and here's Robin.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Francine, in the background. You're just awesome. And thank you, Terry. And thank you, Maureen, for being our special guest. I will introduce Maureen in just a second. But today, my happy, healthy habit is going to be along the lines of our guest today, Maureen, who's going to talk to us a little bit about nutrition and hormone balancing. And she's going to tell us a little bit more about herself. But so my big thing is right now is reducing stress out of our lives and helping people to just slow down because we have such a fast-paced life. And so today I would like you guys to try to snack mindfully. So actually take time out of your day to do kind of a midday meditation during your break. So what that means is pack a healthy snack today. If you haven't, then do it tomorrow, but pack a healthy snack like some nuts or a boiled egg or whatever. Get away from your computer completely, get away from your phone, and also get away from your desk. So get up and leave and go sit somewhere that's kind of peaceful. Get your snack, a piece of fruit, whatever it is that you have for a snack, and focus on the texture, focus on the taste, focus how you feel, and breathe. And then what you do is basically you're having a mini mindful meditation during the middle of the day when you just kind of need a break and just want to slow down and catch your breath and have your brain decompress. So anyway, that's my happy, healthy habit for today. Maureen Stevenson is our guest today, and she's an entrepreneur. When I first met Maureen, she was working full time, and I'd like her to update us on that. I think she might not be working full time and is doing her business full time. But anyway, she's a wellness coach, a mentor, and an author. She has a fitness program. She has a wellness program. She's got a beautiful website that we'll put up on the chat, in the Facebook chat. And today, I'd like her to introduce herself to us and tell us a little bit about her story, how she got into coaching and wellness. She's got a fabulous, fascinating story, and to give us the tip for the day, which I think is going to be around nutrition and hormone balancing. So thank you, Maureen, for coming to join us and share your wisdom.
Oh, thank you for having me. Good morning, everybody, everywhere. My name is Maureen Stevenson Lewis. I'm a health and wellness coach. And actually, I'm a physical specialist also. I do exercise, not just coaching, but exercise also. How I got started, just like when I turned, I would say in my late 40s, I have like a midlife crisis. And I went to the doctor because I was having, my body was just miserable and I have a lot of aches and pains in my body. And when I went to the doctor, my diagnosis was premenopausal. And my doctor wanted me to go on antidepressant. And from a child, I could not take pills. And so I did not want to take any medication. So I came home and looked at the side effect. And when I did, it seems like the side effect was going to make me more sicker. So I decided to do some research and entered into a program at American River College, and then I went to to do nutrition health coaching at Integrated Nutrition. So, and actually, then I specialize in hormonal health and gut health. And so this is how I started, just not to help anyone. I just wanted to help myself. I really wanted to feel better in my body and not to feel miserable, because every time I get up, I would just feel so miserable. I could not take light. Light was my enemy, and crowd was also one of the things that I couldn't tolerate. And so I went on this journey for myself. It's actually funny, but I didn't want to be a nutritionist. I didn't want to be anything around health. That wasn't any passion of mine, actually. And so the sickness just birthed the passion. And so I started to change my diet and then do as the doctor says. One thing, when I was leaving the doctor, when I was protesting with her, like, oh my God, I can't take pills. And, she was saying that if I change my lifestyle and concentrate more on nutrition and exercise, then I could get the same benefit or the same mood uptake from my body would make those naturally than having to use the pill. And that comes without a side effect, and the pill does come with a side effect. So I actually follow my doctor advice. So I'm here to tell you that as a health coach and a nutrition health coach, we worked along with doctors so that you can follow what the doctor tells you to do. When you go to the doctor, they're so quick, and you get out of there and you don't know what they're telling you, or you cannot fathom it. So we're the next bridge where you can come through, and we help you to follow and implement what your doctor says. So as a health and wellness nutrition coach, we work directly, and I want to say intertwine with your doctor, so you can actually follow what your doctor's advice is and how you can get well and vibrancy in your body. Because your body have everything that it needs. You just need to tap into it and have the time to, as Robin says on her thing, to quiet down and listen to what your body is telling you, and then, to activate it. Just don't sit on it, just activate it. And so I'm here to tell you that you can be vibrant, you can be sexy, and you can be well at any stage of life you find yourself in.
This is good. Sexy is good.
Yes.
Sexy is good. I think sometimes we forget to be sexy. We just trying to get through the day. But, when you feel better, then you can think about these things, can't you?
Yeah. And so today I made a little bit of notes, and I wanted to share with you that in my journey, I found that hormone balance require a healthy digestion. It's also required that your blood sugar is stabilized, and it has, in the other third components, is a well-functioning liver. And I think those are like the three key foundation that I found that works. And if you want to balance your hormone, and because many women experience hormone balancing, but you can naturally, the good news is that you can naturally rebalance your hormone and come back to health and wellness, and have a thriving and vibrant life.
Okay, Maureen, one of our viewers is saying this is for men too.
Yes, it's actually for men. I in my study, I found out that men actually need their hormones to be balanced. Yes, because hormones. I'm going to read the definition of what hormone is. Okay. And hormones are tiny chemical messengers produced by a network of endocrine glands, and that include your pituitary gland, your adrenal, and your thyroid, and also the pancreas and your ovaries. And in women and men. And men are testicles in men. So actually, yes, men do have hormone imbalance too. Not as prevalently as women, or not as it's not as I would say out there as women, but yeah, in fact, men do.
I would say it's probably just not as acknowledged.
Maybe it's not as acknowledged, but it's not as prevalent as women, because they said men go through like what is the crisis they call it?
Midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis. But it's also the same as hormone imbalances, where everything in your body, as you age, just change.
Mm-hmm.
And so the point is now that you have to eat for that body. You can't eat for the body that you have 20 years ago, or you have to eat for the 50-year-old body.
I'm laughing. I'm gonna put this up.
So you can find vibrancy in that body. So
okay, Maureen, Mark says, I'm having a hormonal imbalance right now. Okay, Mark, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
And so on that lines today, I want to talk about food, a combination of food that can help you to stabilize your blood sugar.
Oh, that's good.
Because that's one of the most thing that can help you to stabilize your hormone if your blood sugar is balanced during the day, so you don't have to run to the candy machine every time you see one. You don't have to like, Lord, I'm losing it, Stabilization is a very critical part in that.
Okay.
So today I have like 5 tips that I want to give and to share. And the first one is, you got to eat within an hour of when you wake up. Don't skip meals. I like people says, I'm too busy to eat lunch. I'm too busy to eat dinner. So for your hormone to be balanced and for your blood sugar, you need to eat. You need to eat every meal and don't skip meals. So that's one of the things that I found out. Number 2, the ideal spacing of your meals should be between 5 to 6 hours between meal. So if you eat like 9 o'clock, just count 5 hours after that and then eat again. No snacking before bedtime shouldn't be an option. There should be no snacking. Okay.
In the background.
Craving. If you space your meal out every 5 to 6 hours, it will kind of eliminate that midnight craving where you get up and start to search for the fridge frantically. And 3, you should fast from dinner time until breakfast. So when you eat dinner, don't eat again until you wake up in the morning.
Wait, whoa. Maureen.
Yeah. We're talking about blood sugar here.
Okay.
Blood sugar stabilization. So if you eat within those 5 to 6 hours between meals, then the blood sugar will stable and you don't have to be like, oh my God, I'm in a crisis,
Yeah.
And I know this is hard for some people because we want to snack before we go to bed. And that is not good when you're talking about you want to balance your blood sugar.
Oh.
That you drink plenty of water before, but not during meal. So you want to drink and eat before your meals.
Okay, I'm with Mark on this one. Wait a minute, let me show you his comment. He's always teasing us. Here we go. Hold on.
What does he say now?
He's saying no snacking. Get thee away from me, Satan. He wants that snack. He wants something. I'm in the refrigerator with Mark. I'm like, oh my God, when you said that, I think I screamed. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I did. So you have to not have, like if you're eating dinner like 5 o'clock, go to bed. Go to bed like 8 o'clock so you don't snack and then you get up. I'm not saying
Okay, wait. So I eat dinner.
No snacking until you wake up in the morning between dinner and breakfast.
That's what I thought you meant. Okay. Can I call you? If I need you to talk me down off the fence Because I'm like,
Well,
oh my
as
God.
Robin says, if you eat your dinner and you go to take a shower and you meditate, like at least 5 hours of meditation, you know, and you get your nice shower, and then you go to bed, and then that will help you to sleep. So you won't be like, okay, where's the fridge? You know, you have to quiet down your mind. I think one of the hardest things to quiet our minds.
Okay.
But
It is.
because then if you don't quiet your mind, you'll be just mindless eating. And that's where you realize that, oh my God, I'm mindless eating. But if you can do that, if you can just fast just a little bit, because that dinner that you eat, and sometimes it's the food too, because if you eat I'm going to be coming up with the combination of how you eat, and if you eat that, it's supposed to hold you. It's supposed to fill you up, so you don't need that craving. You don't have the craving.
Oh, okay.
It's
so you telling me you're gonna give me a remedy to help me get through this? I can live with that as long as I got a process. Because for some reason, right before I'm ready to go to bed,
that we should strive for, and I'm not saying that we're going to get it perfect.
Okay.
Strive for when you're having your carbohydrates, make sure you pair it with protein, and then the good fat, and then fiber. Fiber, if you do that, fills you up. Fiber can hold you for 8 hours. So if you combine your food like that, you don't eat a lot of carbohydrates and just one food. So avoid carbs alone. Always add protein, fat, even when you're snacking. Make sure that you add protein and fat to that food, so you won't have to be going running, you know, because the combination of the food that you also eat. And try to make sure that you're eating omega-3 fatty acid, you know, like eggs, flaxseed. Flaxseed is tremendously good good fiber to hold you over. And then you want to have some fatty fish or oily fish like salmon and walnuts, because those are brain food, and that will help the brain to understand that, they're doing things differently for their body. So it depends on the food that you eat, and then make sure you're having magnesium-containing food. Food that contain magnesium are almond, cashew, Brazil nuts and pecan, avocado, banana, some black beans, and cocoa are high in contents in dark chocolate. For a minute now, people can eat dark chocolate. It's actually good.
Okay.
And so,
because I'm telling you, for some reason, my snack cravings have been off the chain, because I've been working in a different environment, and I haven't been able to get out to really do lunch at my usual hour. So then over there, the lady was selling candy bars and chips. And I found myself walking over there.
Yeah, so if you have lunch, if you have the spacing of the meal and have the combination with the food, it will hold you. And I find that if you want to eat your sweets, just kind of eat it like right after you have your dinner. So that will lessen you from just eating a lot. You know, you can just eat it once you're there. I'm not here to tell you that you have to deprive yourself, because I really don't believe in depriving. I don't really believe that diet is anything that you take out. I mean, diet for me is something that I add in. I add in years, I had in life, I had in health, heart, lungs, and health for my heart and lungs. So I'm not here to tell you that you have to deprive yourself. It's just the combination of food that can hold you over to get to the next stage of where you want to go in your blood sugar balancing.
Okay, then I guess Mark's safe. Let me show you what he said.
They
go to bed at 8. I would have to resign from the church of bringing private time.
I have to comment on that. I didn't mean that Mark has to go to bed at 8. I'm just saying whatever your bedtime is, try to make sure that you have dinner between 5 hours to that. So say you're going to go to bed at, I said 10, I would have dinner at 5. So that you don't snack between dinner time. And when you do the combination of food, that can fill you up. And that can help you over, because when you eat a meal, it's supposed to like sustain you during, that time. And the sleep time, you get to sleep better because your food will be digested. Your food wouldn't be up here beating you up. Like when you eat like 9 o'clock and just go to bed at 9:30. There's no way for the food to digest and to go through the process that it needs to go through in your body.
Oh, okay.
So you have to give it time. So that and the last thing is a lot of dark green vegetable, especially spinach and Swiss chard, and pumpkin, and also sunflower seed. Those are some things that we need in our diet for you to stabilize your blood sugar. And that is so crucial, because a lot of people, you go to the doctor and they tell you like, you're diabetic, or you and that's caused because you're not doing your blood sugar. So today I'm here to give you some tips so you can avoid the food that will make you reach your goal to be balanced.
Okay.
So I have to avoid eating carbs alone, and carbs should always be paired with protein and fat. An example of this is for meat eater who would have your palm size of meat or fish with large portion of vegetable. So I know this is a catcher, because we think the more meat we have, but we can use our palm to measure the meat. We don't even need a scale to see. Make sure your palm size, if you're eating your fish, it can fit in your palm. Also for the meat eaters, don't just take out meat. You can, if you don't want to have a lot, you can just use your palm to measure the meat size. And then a large portion of vegetable on your plate, and whole grain. And you can cook your whole grain butter in butter. Butter is good these days, and ghee or coconut oil, and vegetable should take up half your plate.
Gotcha.
So the ghee is like really good fat, and it has the capability to make your food taste good, but it also good so it can hold you over and make your food flavorful. So when people says like healthy food is not delicious, and I always say that I tend to try to eat healthy, but I don't eat bland food. I eat flavor food. So it's just knowing the things to put in your food to make it flavorful, I think. So you have to feed all your taste buds. You can't just like, okay, I'm going to take this out and not put something in. You always have to replace something to make your taste bud, because eventually is that your taste bud is going to be the deciding factor between staying on the diet and endurance, or you just get off it, But once you implement these little step by step, not a overwhelming step, you can. I think you can. You can do it. I'm positively you can. Just start small. Just start tiny. Don't just like. And people say, okay, take all the carbs out because carbs is bad. Carbs, you have bad carbs and you have good carbs. And the good carbs will hold you and hold your blood sugar where they need to go. And don't let your blood sugar spike. So when it spikes in your blood sugar, then you have to run to the candy store, or pull your head out like, okay, I have to get up this desk. I have to go feed that craving. But if you eat consistently through the day, it will help the blood sugar to be balanced.
Okay, 2 things. JD asked, is coffee okay to drink?
Yes. I wouldn't say coffee is bad, but what I found out that with coffee, when I do drink it, I make it a power coffee. I make sure in the morning I have put a little bit of ghee in it, and then I have some natural cocoa where I mix it with my coffee. So then I get the good fat, and that can hold me throughout the day. So I don't just make coffee. I made a bomb coffee that had my good fat in there, and put some coconut oil in it and a teaspoon of coconut oil with some ghee. And then my coffee is the bomb,
Okay, I'm not sure I know what ghee is.
Ghee is clarified butter.
Okay.
So it's clarified butter, and it's good fat.
Okay.
But you just need a tiny bit to take your coffee from great to first class, and then you will get your good, you'll get the good feeling, and also you get the good fat. But I drink coffee. I'm not a person who believes in taking out anything. If my body tells me that it needs coffee, I'm going to drink coffee until my body tells me that it don't reject coffee. I think that's how I eat. I eat because my body tells me what it needs at this stage of my life. Okay. And I don't eat to deprive myself, and I wouldn't dare tell anyone to eat to deprive yourself. But what I do know is that make the good outweigh the bad. So if you're going to eat a little bit of thing, I always say eat 10% of that and then 90% of the good stuff.
That's good. That's
so
good.
You can find balance, because you have to eat for your taste bud. For me, when I want a taste of ice cream, I just don't get the big ice cream. I get the small ice cream. Then I put a lot of nuts in it, because I know that the nuts are healthy. So that helps me that helps me to slow down, and I don't need that amount of ice cream. So it's just a combination of what you need to put.
I like these ideas you're coming up with, Maureen. Okay. Because, to get the healthy stuff in there so I get a balance. Because right now I'm just, satisfying the cravings. Mark has a comment here too. I'm going to put it up. He says, I actually have a great deal of success with intermittent fasting. I eat everything in 6-hour window. I have a lot more energy, and as a result, and I automatically lost some weight.
Okay. Yes. Congratulations. Yes. We can eat dinner and go to bed. If you really combine the food combination, is that a lot of what I found out when I wasn't sick then, what I used to eat, like I used to eat a lot of white rice because I love jasmine rice. Oh my God, I just love jasmine rice. But these days, if I do eat white rice, you know what I do? I pack it up with some fiber. I get some, I put fiber in it so that some chia seed, and then I put a teaspoon of chia seed in it. So I don't eat that much white rice. But if my palate calls for it, I do eat it. But I make sure I pack it up with a lot of grains and a lot of fiber so that it will slow me down. So I don't eat that much.
Okay. Robin's putting up your comments here. She says, gee, who would have thought it?
And also I combine flax seeds. You can Google the benefits of flaxseed. It helps to lower cholesterol way down. And if you just Google it and look it up, you'll see. So when you combine those, like with a teaspoon or a taste, for that taste in my white rice, then I'm like, okay, I can do it. But it slows you down and it fills you up fast, so you don't have to eat this large amount. So I would say to the ladies out there or to the men, add some fiber to your meals, and you'll be more successful at it.
Well, here's a comment from one of our gentlemen viewers. Let's see if I can get it to show. My cursor is acting interesting. Bear with me, Jay. He says, yay, good ideas. I'm in agreement with him because I need some help with, making it doable. And I like what you're suggesting because it makes it doable, Maureen.
Yeah, the point is to honor your body and not to go because somebody tells you to do it. You don't even have to listen to me because you don't. You have to. I think the expert here is your body. I think everybody should know that the expert in the room is their body, and you are your own expert. When you go to the doctor don't know you. And if you take time to know your body, know what it wants at each stage. Because for me, every day I get up with a new body. The body I went with bed last night with is not the body I get up with today. Because last night maybe I didn't hear the cracking sound in my bones, but today I do. So I have to do those bones to be less noisy, you know. So I would just recommend that people kind of just listen to their body. Let your body be the expert. Let it tell you what you want. If it rejects something, don't eat it. If it craves something, find out why it is craving it. And sometimes the body craves stuff. It's not because of food. It's because of we're not feeding it. We need to feed it spiritually. We need to feed it with nourishment from food. We need to feed it with nourishment from rest. Rest is a significant factor. If we can just find rest, you know how many weight we could lose? A lot. Because the body needs time to restore and to grow new cells. And in this busy world, we're not taking the time for it to restore. We're just having it in a fight or flight situation where every time we're always running. But the downtime that the body needs is the best time for it to restore. That's where it makes new cells, that where it's generate and you become vibrant, and I would say rest, water, and water.
I love it.
If you're looking to lose, I always hear people like, I go to the gym and I worked out. But if you go to the gym and work out and you still go back to the bad habits, it's no use. You're just defeating the purpose. And if you don't get rest after you work those muscles so they can replenish and get strength and get stronger, then there's no use to you doing anything. So, rest, I would say the number one thing I found out in all my study is that rest. If I could get my clients to rest a little bit more, they would see such a tremendous improvement in their health. But we're in a society, and I understand that it's like this fast society where we have to move and we have to groove and we have to be like the other person and we have to outnumber them. But today I'm just throwing out an invitation that try to find us in your schedule where you can get more rest. Find in your schedule where you can do mindful eating, where you can sit and enjoy your food, chew your food more. Just be one. Show up with your food and just be one with your food. Concentrate and says, today, this is my time that I take to nourish. And the job that allows you not to take break or to feed yourself, I would say that it's not healthy for you, because you need that time where you have to serve yourself first before you can serve others. And so much of us starve ourselves, and that's why, the big waistline, we have it because we're not taking time to rest, and we're not taking time to eat and meditate on our food, that food is nourishment, and the way we eat it is nourishment to our body.
Okay. I love it. So we need some water, we need some rest.
And we need water. So I would say water, rest, and water, because the nourishment comes from everything that you do. It comes from your job, it comes from the company you keep, and your friends, because if you keep a friend that says, okay, that they're on a wellness journey to stabilize their blood sugar, but every time you're like, girl, here's the alcohol, let's go into the club, that's not a friend who's on your side. So it depends on the company you keep also. So diet comprises of all those things, and it's not just food, because sometimes the last thing the body needs is food, as nourishment. There's so many other points where you can nourish yourself during the day. And I would say take, if at least 10 minutes, 10 minutes on honor that body. Move it. Motion is lotion. Move your body at least even for 10 minutes, and try to eat the food in the combination so that you can have that balance throughout the day. And
okay, now we need to just wrap this up with Mark, because Mark says, I'm enjoying my food. I'm in a monogamous relationship with Chips Ahoy. So we may need to do.
Right. Tell him that it's okay. Just eat Chips Ahoy in moderation.
Yes. Then someone said, Terrellina Austin, no snacking before bed. Okay.
I wouldn't tell him to come out of his relationship with Chips Ahoy. Maybe he could make a dip with some of the fiber and dip the Chips Ahoy in it, and it will flow.
Did you hear that, Mark?
I'm not a fan of telling you to take anything out your diet. I just tell you to look at the ingredients and honor that body. You decide what body you want. I mean, you can decide that you don't want a vibrant body, and that's okay. That's you. So, each person decide how they want to feel during the day. But if you want to feel energetic, if you want to feel vibrant, then you have to decide that. And you have to decide that with food, rest, and how you take care of yourself.
Hey, Rue. Thank you for tuning in. Okay. Robin? Do you have...
I don't really have anything to add to Maureen's presentation this morning, although very briefly, I want Maureen to, after we get offline, I think what we're going to do is we're going to populate this chat with a bunch of her ideas in terms of the foods that she was suggesting.
Great.
Yeah, and what I like about Maureen's approach is it's kind of like the way I look at life, which is we just need to be aware. And we just need to adopt one little healthy habit at a time, throw out one little bad habit at a time if we can, just chip away at, trying to get our life in order and make ourselves healthier in mind, body, and spirit. So I really, really appreciate Maureen and what she does for us. You guys need to check out her website. It's beautiful, and she has all of her workshops listed and her special programs for wellness and fitness. So we'll put the website up also in the chat so that people can kind of click in and start following her.
Maureen, I call it crowding out, Robin. It's crowding out. When you start implement good habits, you crowd out the bad habits because the bad habits become down here. And you get the benefits. You see the benefits of what the good habits is, and then you just crowd out the ones. There's no more space for it. So as I said, implement small, tangible steps, and it will create a pattern. That's why it's not an immediate thing. It's a lifestyle, and that lifestyle has to start like how I approach things. My approach to it, and it's how I started to crawl first and little steps. Then I started from crawling to run, to walk. And then from walk, I ran. Like now I got this thing. So it's like whether you are just, pushing along slowly, and then, habits become habits, and then they become habits, and then they become this large thing that you have no need for that little thing anymore. So it's just crowded out, So that's what I say, today. And thank you guys for having me. I hope this was helpful, and I know it's a lot, but I would say just small, one step at a time. Put the small foot before the other. That's how we walk. Put your foot before the other, and then take tiny baby step and get there. It's not a marathon, it's just an endurance. You have to know how to endure it.
Thank you so much, Maureen.
Thank you for having me.
You have such great wisdom, and I'd like to have Maureen come back because I want her to talk about her other expertise. She has some really fun subjects that we'll explore later on in another show, hopefully. So with that, I wanted to just thank everybody for tuning in. I wanted to thank Maureen, especially, and Francine in the background, and of course, Terry, of you and your infectious smile and laughter always brings us joy. Next week we have Linda Lee, who we haven't seen for a couple of months actually. So Linda Lee will be joining us next week. So I don't know what her subject will be, but we're looking forward to seeing her. And wanted to thank Terry and Francine and Maureen for today's show.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm humbled, and thanks to the viewers for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Tomorrow is Tech Friday. We'll be talking tech with the Tech Divas. We're also going to have some seats open. So if you'd like to actually be on air, you might be lucky enough to get a seat. We can accommodate about 6 people. So come on over and join the conversation. Tomorrow we'll be talking tech in English. So don't be scared. We love you. And we always want to close with saying, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. It was a great show, Robin and Maureen. Thank you so much. Thanks, friend.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.